Ladies and gentlemen, today let's discuss whether the NSX is better than the C8 Stingray or Corvette Z06. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Brink of Speed. Yes, you saw that correctly in the intro. I have an NSX in my garage next to my C8 Corvette, and yes, you saw the amazing drone footage just now of this beautiful black NSX. This is going to be a full review of the car, but I'm also going to talk about differences between it and my car, and it and the C8 Z06, mostly the C8 Z06, because the fact that the Z06 is so expensive compared to what people thought it was going to be. Is it time to now buy an NSX? So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments down below already saying no NSX, no NSX, Corvette only. That's fine, but I want to hear your honest opinion after the review. So please watch the whole thing. This car is gonna surprise you, I guarantee it. Anyway, before we get started in the video, thank you to my thumbs up squad for already smashing that thumbs up button. I hugely appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, you will enjoy this, I promise. And thank you for pressing that play button and joining us. Also, if you don't want to miss a single one of these videos, make sure to smash that red subscribe button and the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. All right, let's get to the review. The looks of this car, in my opinion, phenomenal. Now you're gonna wonder what year this is. It is a 2017 Acura NSX, and like I said, it looks phenomenal. That's the first thing. The second thing is, just look at the stance of it. I mean, it doesn't get much more aggressive looking than that. Obviously you saw the drone footage. It is a extremely aggressive stance, and it being a mid-engine just like the C8, it's just hard not to like the way that Acura designed this with all of the scoops and openings. Now, a lot of people complain about the weight of this car because it is a hybrid, as you know, and it is 3,800 and some change on the weight. So it's definitely heavy, but let me tell you right now, it does not drive like a heavy car, and I will show you that soon. You've got some really big intakes right here in the front. And then you've got a beautiful carbon fiber roof up here. You've got these massive intakes on the side. You've got the beautiful, beautiful wheels, plus the big carbon ceramic brakes. They're 14.5 up front and 14.2 in the rear. The engine is a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, putting out 573 horsepower and I believe 460 torque. You've got 245s up front and 305s in the rear. Let me tell you something right now, with this being a hybrid, you've got the front motors up here making this an all-wheel drive car, and it grips big time. You have zero traction loss in this NSX. Come back here, hit that button, raise up the rear hatch, and check it out. Lots of carbon fiber in the interior here around the engine, and it's just a pretty engine bay. Also, one more thing that you'll notice in the engine bay is it is specifically numbered, ladies and gentlemen. So this is like a Z06. And then, just like the C8 Corvette, you have a trunk. And that's one really great thing about this NSX is it's one of the only mid-engine cars to have a trunk, and boy, does it have a trunk. This is actually quite a bit bigger than the C8 Corvette's trunk. Now, obviously, if this wasn't a hybrid, you would have a frunk right here, but since it's a hybrid, there is no space in there. It's just electric motor, so I won't bother with that. This is a pretty sleek way of getting into your car. That's pretty cool. You just grab that, and this is the interior of the NSX. So check that out, ladies and gentlemen. It is completely quiet in here. I've got the AC running and there's no sound because right now we're in hybrid EV mode, and that's one thing that's really great about this is you don't have to run the engine for you to go ahead and get that AC blasting. Obviously, it's really hot outside. So first thing is first, let's go over the steering wheel. And you're gonna see that this steering wheel is very similar C8 steering wheel. It's got a flat bottom and a flat top. However, I really do like the way that they bolstered this area here. This is where you wanna keep your hands at all times. That way your paddle shifters are right here at your fingertips. And you'll see here on the back, this bolster right here really gives you a nice feel to grip and rip and have full control. Also, you'll notice that there is full carbon fiber on the top of this steering wheel and full carbon fiber on the bottom of the steering wheel, so that's very nice. This is your climate control, your radio. This is how you adjust your drive settings, and every time you turn that, it shows up here. So there's Sport, Sport Plus, and then if you hold it down to the right, then you have track mode. But we're gonna go back to EV, so it's quiet. The center console here is very reminiscent of the C8 and the way that it works. It's a little longer, a little bit bigger here. You've got heated seats on both sides. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go for a ride and let's talk about the NSX and all the differences between the C8 Stingray and the Z06. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this into Sport Plus. And we're gonna get going. Now, right off the bat, I'm gonna let you know that I've driven this car a few times already, and it is an absolute blast to drive. It is probably one of the most underrated supercar there is today. Woo. Just so you know, that was 0 to 70 plus in what, a couple seconds? Wow, absolutely incredible. So I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna start talking about the differences between this and my car, the Stingray. Number one, looks. I think it's very competitive with the Stingray. There's things about this I like better. There's things about the Stingray I like better. Sound. Obviously, this car sounds phenomenal, but so does mine, in my opinion. The engine, I've got a big V8. This has a pretty decent sized V6, but it's a V6. Handling. Now, I haven't ever had this on a track. However, I do know that it does extremely well on a racetrack, and I can tell, especially in sport mode, Sport Plus mode, that it's gonna handle absolutely phenomenal. The drivability of this car, you can tell, you could easily daily drive this. However, there's one big difference between this and hang on. Woo! I mean, unreal. So there's one really big difference between this car and my car, and that is that I have magnetic ride control, and so the stiffness of this suspension is quite a bit more than my suspension, even if I'm in sport mode. So this one has a bumpier ride, so I would take my car over it as far as that goes. When it comes to sheer speed and acceleration, this car has my car by quite a bit. My car has 495 horsepower. This car has 573 horsepower. And because of the fact that it's a forced induction engine, this car already feels faster just because of that reason. Those twin turbos kick in really fast. And then you've got the fully electric front motor driving the front tires that give you the instant torque that comes on so strong, and that right there also makes this feel faster. But with the overall ride comfort and just the drivability of my car versus this car, I would rather have my car for long trips, driving to and from work if I used it as a daily, and obviously anyone who uses their car as a daily driver is gonna like the C8 better. It's not that much slower. In fact, 0 to 60 is identical. The quarter mile on this is a little bit faster. I think it's 11.4. The C8 was like 11.8. So the sound of my car, because of my exhaust, man, you just can't beat that. And this isn't a fair comparison because of the fact that it does have a really expensive, phenomenal exhaust that gives this car so much more sound, like you can hear, than my car. Now that's another thing. The quietness in the cabin of the C8 is so much better than this. They may have improved that with the new NSX, but so far my car has a much quieter ride because of the exhaust, because of the engine noise, and because of the road noise than the NSX. Watch this. From 0 to about 20, I think. 21, 20. Wow, I'm going 30. There we go. 31 miles an hour. No engine noise. Good gosh. I mean, this is pretty much like my C7 Z06. With my current C8, you floor it, you go through three gears, you're a little above 60. You go to fourth gear, you're like 80 miles an hour. This car in third gear pulls so hard and you're at 80, 85 like that. Man. Now let's talk about the C8 Z06 and why this might be a good alternative for you if you just cannot get your hands on a C8 Z06. Obviously, I haven't driven a Z06, but we can just go off of the specs. The Z06 is lighter by a couple 100 pounds, and it has 100 more horsepower than this car. It only has about 70 more horsepower than the new NSX Type S, but about 100 more than this car. We all know that this revs to about 7,500. The new Z06 revs to 8,600. So obviously that car is going to beat it in sound. It's going to handle better than this car. It's much wider. It's got way bigger tires in the rear. We know it's got 345s, and then it's got 275s up front. This is 245s up front, 305s in the rear. So if you can get your hands on a NSX Type S, I would probably go for it. Go drive one. Find a friend, find a dealership, find someone that'll allow you to drive their car or take you for a ride in an NSX, it will completely change your mind. It is a blast to drive. So I'm gonna jump on the highway and show you guys. By the way, this car has 9 gears, and I'll let you know how it drives at 80 miles an hour on the highway. Pretty smooth. Ooh, gotta love it in tunnels. I mean, that dual clutch shifts so fast. I don't know, it may be faster than the C8. See what I mean? Woo! So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank my good friend Clark for allowing me to take his car for a few days, do this wonderful content for you, and trust me with the keys to his beautiful 2017 black NSX. Thank you so much, Clark. I hugely appreciate it. What a special, special friend you are. My final conclusion of this car is, obviously, this car puts a smile on my face. It's gonna put a smile on your face. Heck, it's probably putting a smile on your face right now just watching me drive it. I'm telling you right now, if you can't get your hands on a C8 Stingray, a Z06, I would highly recommend going out, checking out an NSX, and just having an open mind. If you don't have fun driving this car, if this car doesn't make you forget all about wanting a Corvette, it would really surprise me. Because I'm telling you, when I'm driving this car, I'm not even thinking about my car. I'm not. It's too much fun. But ladies and gentlemen, I can't stress enough to you how amazing this car is. If you enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up. If you don't want to miss a single one of these types of videos, again, make sure to smash that red subscribe button and the bell for notifications when these videos come out. I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you guys out on the road.